I had my deck. I had my proof. And if Richard thought he was about to humiliate me in front of everyone, well, he was in for a surprise. When the client meeting started, Richard tried to take control. But I had a card up my sleeve that would flip the entire room against him and maybe expose Melissa too. The morning of the client meeting, my nerves buzzed like live wires. I'd rehearsed my pitch a dozen times, checked and double-checked my flash drive, and tucked the folder of printed evidence under my arm. Today wasn't just about securing a deal. Today was about survival and revenge. The conference room was already buzzing when I walked in. Richard stood at the head of the long mahogany table, flanked by two junior associates. He looked sharp, confident, already warming up the room with his fake charm. Melissa sat near the back, eyes darting to me, then away quickly. The client's team entered for people in tailored suits, serious faces. The air was thick with tension. Richard clapped his hands together. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, "we're thrilled to present this opportunity. My colleague Evan here has been leading the project, and we're ready to show you something truly groundbreaking. My project, my idea." And he said it like he owned it. I let him talk. I let him flash his fake confidence, flipping through slides that looked eerily familiar until he landed on the equity concession slide, the one I had fabricated as bait. He paused dramatically. "Of course, we've considered your request for an additional 15% equity concession." The client's lead negotiator raised a hand, frowning. "I'm sorry. Our request? We never made such a demand. Where did this come from?" The room went silent. My moment had arrived. I leaned forward. "Actually, I can explain that." Richard froze, his smile slipping. "Evan, no. Richard, you've had your turn." I plugged in my flash drive, pulling up the real deck on the projector. Line by line, I showed the accurate projections, the realistic terms, the structure that made sense. I spoke with calm authority, every word precise. The client nodded, leaning in, visibly relieved to see numbers that actually added up. Then I slid the printed folder across the table. "And here," I continued, "is the trail of drafts that were tampered with. Emails forwarded without my consent, fake numbers inserted, even fabricated client demands." I tapped the page with the timestamp. "This one was sent from Richard's account at 11:03 p.m. last night." Gasps rippled through the room. Richard's face drained of color. "That's ridiculous," he snapped. "You're trying to frame me." The client team gathered their things. "We'll need to reconsider whether this partnership is worth pursuing at all," their lead said flatly. Richard tried to recover, but it was over. He looked small, pathetic, like a kid caught cheating on an exam. When the clients left, the room was chaos. My colleagues whispered furiously. The partners exchanged grim looks.